Hello!
Hello!
And welcome back to Project Mosquito.
In this week's episode, we're finally going to be fitting our sills.
It looks like a car and it feels car-shaped.
You cut out. I'm not sure it's going to work.
I am. Have faith, Father. Hopefully this video, I'll actually be in the video. Last week, I spent ages making some strips for the A-pillars that in the end we decided not to use. And so I didn't want to put a lot of stuff in a video of making of something that we weren't going to use. So I just wasn't in last week's video. That's why I was so absent. It's rare that we just throw something away, but they just weren't right.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Oh, shall I talk about the list?
Yeah.
Before we get into it.
Have you took the bolts out of the pedal box?
No. Right, so yesterday we sat down and we had a bit of a meeting and we've made a list of all of the things that we can think of that we need to do before we paint the chassis. If you can think of any that aren't on this list, then let us know down in the comments, because you might be able to think of some, because I've thought of one this morning. So we need to make a cardboard facsimile of the fuel tank so that we can make tank straps, because the tank straps need welding in. Heater controls, because that is a mount in the center console. And it involves cutting, rear fittings for the rear skid plate and sump guard, jacking points, door hinges, weld on the sills, A-pillar body mounts, which I tried to make last week and they weren't wide enough, firewall flanges, handbrake cable mounts, throttle cable mounts, brake pipe fittings, center console, because there's going to be an armrest, engine mount reinforcement, because there's a gusset that Dad wants to put on the back, dashboard mounts, sill caps, because there's some little caps to go in here, rear sill vent, finish weld the steering column, front clamshell mounts, finish weld everything, front clamshell catches, finish weld everything, dead pedal footrest, because there's a clutch footrest going in, and we want to make the foot plate before then. Depot footrest clutch and anti-roll bar mounts for the front. If you can think of anything else that's not on that list, let us know down in the comments. So we made the sills forever ago, and there's a reason we haven't fitted them, and that's because they are one of the, if not the most complicated panel on the car.
Yeah, on the original car they were kind of slab-sided, and these are very much curved. They follow the body line around.
Yeah, they match the contour of the body rather than just being straight. But not only that, they join the front arches and the rear arches together.
Yeah.
And if the sills are wrong, the whole body's going to look wrong, which makes welding them on at this point a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah. Not only that, the structural, like a major structural component of the torsional rigidity of this car, and one of the things that make it insanely stiff. So yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, and also we've been so scared of damaging them, because you've seen us in past episodes flipping the car over, tipping it on its side, and it was the last thing you want is to put a dent in the sill that you've spent hours and hours making.
In fact, when the steel has shrunk back, you may have seen it in a previous thumbnail, but there's a slight ripple here in this sill that we need to get out as well.
Yeah.
But we need to know how much of the sill we're keeping at the back.
Yeah, because we've made the sills far longer than they're actually going to be on the car.
Yeah. So, body on.
Body on.
What am I doing? Yeah, just push the bodywork in, Dad.
We need them wheel bearings as well.
There you go.
Oh, there's two here.
Was it two in?
Two in a box.
Ah, you must have got rid of a box then. And of course you've got to put your rear brakes on to do your sills. Doesn't everybody? No, it's because they're a wheel spacer, fundamentally. So, got to get everything lined up. And then we know how wide stuff is properly. One of the main reasons why we haven't done anything to the body really up until this point is because we'll be taking this on and off, on and off, on and off. And while you're making brackets and while you're doing sills and stuff like that, it would be silly to spend ages making a body beautiful and pristine and having these gorgeous big flares on it and all this, and then they aren't really flares, it's a full wide body. To then kind of mess it up by lifting it on and off all the time. We need to get one thing sorted and then progress from there, which is why we're doing chassis. Got to have a good foundation to build your wall on, haven't you?
It's like a kid, you know, you can't put your hands down.
You don't wear a microphone? Yep. Right, Dad's not wearing a microphone so you can't hear him, but he's just said it's like trying to ice a cake before you've made the cake.
It really is a pivotal moment for me, just get it, because now, when it goes together as it actually is. You know, we've done the front, that's all buttoned up, but now the rear's buttoned up, so it's nice.
And it'll roll like butter.
We need to cut them studs down.
We do, they are ridiculous.
Yeah. They're designed to have wheel spacers in, so you could put
massive drag slicks.
Yeah, you could put maybe 30-40 mil wheel spacers in there.
I would imagine though, a set of like weld racing wheels for some like 12-inch drag slicks.
Yeah.
Use a stud like that because wheel will be flipping.
Yeah. Yeah, because repeatedly launched, for 9-10 second quarters.
Them wheels will be like that thick. I mean, even those Porsche wheels on there are thicker than these are. These were factory fitted wheels to BMW 2002 rally cars, but also the CG, which is a Simca 1000 based Alpine style car.
Yeah.
That's got a clip-on hardtop. Comes on and off. Cool looking little car. Right, so I'll just pick back end up, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to be well.
It's going to be weighty.
It's going to be heavy now.
Right, ready? Yep. Steady.
And obviously, it's stored on its tiptoes because there's no engine in.
Yeah. But it roll. And it bounces.
Engine's behind it.
Yeah, I know.
Might body work. Don't want to scratch it.
Cool. Everything's clean. Everything, right? New components. Going on new components.
Oh, look at that.
I know.
First time we all 4 proper wheel bearings in. The other bearings we used before were just
dead old wheel bearings that we'd smashed apart and then kind of necromanced back together.
Yeah, and then we spun the outside diameter down so we could just pop them in and out of the hubs. But that's really nice. That's nothing. Look, one finger.
Right, so originally my idea was to make the lower part of the rear wheel arch in steel. Right? That way we've got more to mount the body to. But if you want to make it in composite, that changes things.
Yeah. I think if we make the bottom, if they make the back of the sill in steel, any stone chips that come off the front wheels are going to batter it to bits.
You mean the front of the rear wheel arch?
Yeah, are going to get battered.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, right, we just mount it up as it is, and later on down the line, if we need to chop into it, we chop into it, because then it'll all be stable and something to mount stuff to. Because you'll need structure in this area. Right, if we were going to do the lower part of the wheel arch in steel, yeah, then obviously that would be its own structure, and so you'd be chopping sill away to add metal, yeah?
Yeah.
But if we're going to do it in composite, we need something solid to mount that composite to.
Yeah.
And so leaving this solid as it is, I think is the way to go.
Yeah, and then we can cut it out after if we need to.
There's a crown in the centre of this sill. There's not in the other one, but there is in this one. And we want to get it as good as we can get it before obviously we weld it in. How to do that?
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even see it until we painted it with steel. You couldn't see it at all.
Well, when we painted it with steel, you couldn't see it until it's all shrunk back.
Yeah, because it's so fine. It is definitely there.
Yeah.
But from there onwards, that's gone. So the only bit you can actually see is just this little piece here.
Yeah.
It's just an ever, I don't even think the camera will pick it up. It's just an ever so slightly faint line. At this stage it's quite easy to bend out, but obviously once this is welded in and the bottom edge is welded in, it'll make a super stiff structure and it won't be able to touch it then.
The front end is heavier than the rear.
The front end's a lot heavier than the rear.
There's a lot going on, that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Can you hold it there?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
It's a bit difficult to roll a car you've designed specifically not to do that.
Yeah, not to tip up. Yeah, so I'm tempted to weld the sill. We can cut them down. We can save a lot of weight.
Yeah, because they're not light.
We can, well, if we come further round, maybe 3/4 of the way round from there, so we get that nice clean edge.
Yep.
And then we can weld them along there. We can then, this little gap here we've got there, we can fill that completely with seam sealer. So we get a really good watertight seal. Then we get no water ingress, no salt spray, no nothing can get in there. Because obviously this is a joint. And that will be a joint, but if we can completely cover that.
Yep, then we're never going to get water stuck in it.
Then we get water stuck in it and it makes the floor even flatter.
Yep.
And as we've said before, we've got a panel that fits all the way down here.
Well, technically, all the way from here, all the way to here, and then another one that runs down there, and then another one that runs all the way to the back beyond the boot. So that it can slide along its belly like a terrapin. Terrapin? Turtle?
Or even the toys.
Penguin. Penguins do the slidey thing, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously you can see we've got miles too much sill. So we're going to save some weight by removing it. Obviously we need these exposed so we can put our bungs in to make our jacking points.
We need to mark on the bodywork, don't we?
Yeah.
The distance from here to there. Make a datum line. Yeah?
Yep.
Your measurement.
And we need to put some more grips on this top edge. And I'll just start from this side.
Yeah. And if you're wondering why the arch is cut like this, there's an episode, I believe it's called No Going Back, where we cut the arches down and we explain the shape of the front wheel arch. And if you haven't seen that episode, you're probably like, where's the arch cut on that angle? You'll have to watch it.
Right, so take it back up again.
Yep. Luckily, there's a playlist at the end of every Mosquito video that has every Mosquito in it. So you can watch it like a box set. And people do.
Yeah.
It's amazing. One of my favourite things is getting a comment on a video that we made 3 years ago from somebody that's like watching every single one through.
Yeah, we've had lots of comments with, oh, I've just discovered your channel.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching episode 131. I'm currently on episode 14.
Yeah. Or 74 or what.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me.
Yeah.
Which I think's superb.
Yeah.
Because you can actually watch it just like a box set. You're going to have to bear with us in this episode because we took an awful lot of time to make these sills and we don't know now, so we're going to take it really steady. Yeah, 50 mil up.
Yep.
And that way it comes more, the sill comes around more than half with the tube because half of the tube's there and we're going to come round a good
10 mil.
Oh, 15 mil.
Cool.
Careful, one didn't it?
Careful, you'll dint it.
Who made them round? They were alright when they were.
No, they weren't. They were horrible.
They were horrible, yeah.
So it's at this point in the video, I'd like to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, and that is you. Our videos are powered by our Patreon members. We are community supported, and it means the world to us because you allow us to make our videos and build this car the way that we want. And we're currently saving up to do bodywork and stuff. So it means the world to us. And so our slicks tier Patreon get a shout out mid-video. So let's say a huge thank you to Alex Bottomley, Andy Wood, David Flaherty, Doug Schott, Joe Shripley, Liam Quinn, Lugan Pillsbury, Mike Satke, Old Goat, Rob Podmore, Robert Millwood, Steve Shriefer and Tim Ritchie.
Yes, thank you guys.
A massive thank you to you all. If you'd like to join our Patreon, then there is a link in the description, but it is also patreon.com/oliverpickard, for which you will receive one video extra on Patreon per week, plus access to all of the backlog of many weeks of videos. Plus photos from and a little occasional video from between episodes so you know what's going on in the workshop before anyone else. And if you become a slick, you'll get a shout out mid-video.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. I usually edit out all the deburring in a video, but I cannot understate the value of deburring a thing the entire way through the process of making a thing. Because if you like your hands and you want them to work tomorrow, it's a really good idea.
Yeah. Right, what I'm going to say is we can continue this now.
Yeah.
To there.
Yeah. In fact, this is quite a moment, Dad,
It is.
because
Wheel bearings.
right, yes, but not only that. As far as videos are concerned, making the sills was your first episode on camera.
It was.
Dad kept coming in and helping me when I were on my onesies, but the first time that you actually were on camera ever was sills.
Yeah.
And so it's a special video for me, that.
Yeah. So at this stage, we're being super cautious.
Yeah, because we really don't want to make another one of these.
Yeah, we struggled to make another one.
Yeah, because I can't remember how we did it.
Look, there's a video.
There is a video.
There's an instructional video on how to make one of these.
What?
Are we in?
Yes.
Look at me cleaning up.
Is this because I made fun of you in the last video?
Might be.
Missed a bit. Dad?
What do you mean I missed a bit? You did off that.
You see, you've got to choose an edge. And so what we've done is we've chosen to get this edge correct in order to get our contour correct. And then if we do any pushing and any kind of manipulation of the sill to get it where we want it to be, we're going to do that inside the door jamb because that's a lot easier. So Dad's now marking it out so that we can drill the top edge ready for plug welding.
Right. The sill flattens out there. Look.
Yeah. So we've had a look and the cutting to the tube here isn't equal here and here. If you look, there's a little tiny 5mm gap. You see that little bit of daylight there, right? That has caused the arch to twist.
The sill.
The sill, sorry. Sorry, yes, the sill. The arch attaches to the sill. But it's caused the sill to twist, and so it's a lot flatter here than it is here. And we've realised that we don't need this strip at all. So what we're going to do is...
In fact, we can cut that in the middle there.
Yeah.
So we can weld it to the top edge of the tube.
Yeah. So we're going to chop this off completely. So that means flipping it back over. It means taking off all our little tack welds and giving it a trim.
Okay.
Yeah. Going down. It's really hard when you can't lift it from sill.
Yeah.
It's because we're tired. Yo, whoa.
Right, cheers. Mirren, can you get the chair,
Hang
please?
on, no, hang on. I've got to pull it towards me.
Right. All right.
Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Vad är det fel då?
I didn't bend it, did I?
No, just a tutter. Oh, it's stuck on.
No,
stuck.
my hand. Is it all right?
Yep, go.
Still a bit twisted, isn't it?
You what?
Still a bit twisted. It flares out here. It gets bigger here, loads bigger. It's not flying dead. And the sill, when you look down it, the sill actually goes like this. If you stand here, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So the car gets fatter as it goes forward, which is kind of opposite of what you want. So what we've done, accidentally, when we welded in the inner sill has been attached on the outside of the tube here and on the inside of the tube here. And so what it's done is it's pushed this part of the sill out and this part of the sill in. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we've been talking and we think we've come up with a solution for our problem.
Yeah, we just need a little bit of tweaking here and there, just to bring one in and bring one out.
Yeah, this top sill seam line where our door seal fits, we need to knock this one out and this one in and kind of square it up a bit. Last night I put a piece of a spacer in here and spaced it out and it actually looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks a lot better than it did, yeah.
And so but this edge needs taking in. And the whole thing needs bringing in because when you stand at the back corner of the car, the sill kind of does that, which is weird because the chassis is shaped like that. And so the sills need to follow the same shape as the chassis.
But we can sort it out, so it's no big problem.
No. Before we get into it, I just want to thank Daryl Rowe for joining our Slicks tier on Patreon. Thanks, Daryl.
Thanks, Daryl.
Because you can't weld to seam seal it, obviously. And you see how the sill now points to the inner side of the tyre? Mm-hmm. That's nicer, yeah?
Yeah. This seam seal has really got a grip.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Sorry seam sealer fans, but this is coming out. Because what we don't want it to do is form an incompressible mass and put a lump in the inner sill. You shouldn't actually see much difference in the inner sill itself when it's all in and done. Because this is kind of behind the seat. and this is just more of what the bend that's already in it. So it shouldn't actually be very noticeable from inside the car, which is probably why we didn't notice it until now. If you go back to when Dad did this originally, 1 second, Dad. Right, Dad actually, you plug welded it along the tube, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you put the tacks in the top for extra support.
Yeah.
So Dad's not actually undoing this panel from the tube. All you're doing is
Yeah, just moving this top across.
moving those top tacks so it doesn't dint it. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah. What we think we've done is we kept trying the doors on with the body and truing the body up and the sills up to the doors. And of course, the body was designed to fit the original chassis, and so were the doors. But we don't want to keep the original doors, we're making new doors.
Making new doors, making a complete new body. So
what we've been doing is truing
yeah,
a body and doors up for a square chassis on a chassis that's not square.
Yeah. But it's worked out really well. Oh,
Yeah.
We do have this little problem here, where we brought the sill further out this way.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy repair. I can do that, so you won't see it. And this bit might not even be staying.
No. No, much of that may be going.
Yeah.
As might some of this. Right, we're going to put the body on and check. Have a look. To over the front there.
Yep.
And this gap that's opened up is the amount that we dropped the floor down by to give us headroom. That's that's extra helmet clearance. That's why it's so big inside.
We can tweak this seam so it makes a good paddle fit and a really good door seal. So
And it's slightly angled down and away as well, so it won't trap water.
yeah, so there's a runoff there as well. So that runs slightly downhill. So any water that gets in is going to run off and down. It won't sit in there.
It looks lighter because there've been these big chunky sills until now, and now they're like.
One of the things I really like about it is here on a normal production car, you've usually got a big long seam that runs along the bottom.
Yeah, the pinch weld.
A pinch weld where they pinch to fasten the sills to the floor. Right, and with this, it's completely smooth and straight onto a flat floor. So you don't have that ugly seam that runs along.
Yeah.
The car just runs down and under and disappears off into the darkness, if you will. All right, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. One thing that I want, one of the reasons why we don't want to put arches on this car, like you would add bubble arches to like a Mark 1 Escort, say, or arches to a Mini, right? Is we really want this car to look like it doesn't have a gram more fat on it than necessary. You know, some cars, they look like someone's connected to an airline to them and like inflated them, and they look slightly at the arches on that new Dodici Cilindri Ferrari. That's a perfect example of that. they look slightly blown up and slightly inflated.
Yeah, and even like one of my favourite cars, the Ginetta G12, has a very rounded profile here.
Yeah.
You know, the doors are super rounded, the sills are super rounded.
And yet it's super skinny just before that, yeah.
And then it gets to this part and it goes skinny and then really bulbous again.
Yeah, it's slightly carp shaped.
Yeah, it's like a koi carp. Yeah. It's a bit pot-bellied and...
Yeah. But I want this car to look like it doesn't have a gram more fat on it than necessary. It should look like... Well, you don't see many fat Mosquitos, do you?
No.
But it should look, you know, that's the thing, like warplanes and stuff like that. They look good because there's not a millimetre more frontal area than necessary. Yeah. There's no added mass. And I didn't want it to look like a French Bulldog either, which is a lot of minis with really big arches. They're like that.
And have the headlights too set in. So the headlights come too far in and then you get this big arch.
Yeah, that's when your car looks froggy.
Then it looks like a frog.
Yeah.
It might not seem like a lot, guys, that we've actually, you know, we've got this far. But to us, this is like, the wheel bearings for me have made a huge difference because it feels like a proper car now.
Yeah.
Everything lines up beautifully. There's little or no rolling resistance. And now the sills are just, it's a massive jump forward for us.
Someone on Reddit said it's too cute, but I really like a car with a happy face. I like a happy car, but at the same time, it has to look athletic, doesn't it? And that's the balance to strike. It has to look not predatory, but you know what I mean, lean and muscular.
Yeah. Much like myself.
Hey!
You know, what I think we should do now is wheel it outside and look in the daylight.
I'll have to watch it for rolling away.
Yeah. Careful now, make it roll over.
You're joking, but...
unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this week.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mission.
It was, yeah.
More so than we planned.
Yeah, but it's worked out really, really well. In fact, better than we originally expected.
Yeah, I think it's better for it. It looks a lot slimmer, it looks a lot neater, a lot tighter. And that's the aim of the game, really, because we want to make this thing look like a lean, mean cornering machine.
Yep. So, and it's, it's uber strong. And we've lost about a third of the weight of the sill.
Yeah.
By trimming it up, and there's more to come off it yet.
Which is superb, because obviously if you can make every single, I wish we could do that with every part of the car.
Yeah.
If we could make every single part of the car a third lighter, then obviously we'd be on the right track. But for a structural component of the car, I'm really, really happy with it. I think it looks great.
Yeah, once it's all welded in, this thing is going to be ridiculously strong.
Yeah. I'm really, really happy with it. And I'm really, really proud of what we've managed to do, to be honest.
Like I say, it might not seem much, but just getting, for me personally, getting the wheel bearings in and getting this sill on is like a massive milestone. I know I said
it's so easy to move now. I mean, it's nothing.
I said it earlier in the episode, but it really is a massive milestone for me. For the first time, it's beginning to look like a car.
Yeah. And we have, obviously we've secured the first exterior body panel.
Yeah.
Like that panel is not changing. That panel is the first panel of the finished car. But I think we're going to need to be very awake and very alert and have our wits about us to get the other side down. Because doing one is easy, right? Because you don't have anything to compare it to. But we've got to get the other side exactly the same but opposite, which is going to take some doing. So we're going to do that in the next episode. But yeah, massively, massively happy. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of you for watching this video, and a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members without whom we'd struggle to make these videos.
Yep, so leave us a comment. If you can't think of anything to say, leave us a mosquito, please.
Yep. Thank you all for watching. Please be awesome to each other, and we'll see you all in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.